What got you thinking about jumping back in?
Well, I certainly wasn't thinking about it. Somebody called me on Wednesday, said they put my name in a poll. They'd be polling Wednesday and Thursday night. They'd have results on Friday. I said, interesting. Hadn't thought about it. And when they called Friday night, they said, whoa, people still know you, and some of them still like you. So they got me thinking about it, and Jan and I have some decisions to make. Yeah, I don't know. Intriguing. The interesting thing is, and I haven't been out of it entirely because I watch what the president is doing. Immigration bothers me. The economy bothers me. I have grandchildren that I worry about. And so I think that we have an inept president, and we need some leadership in Washington. And maybe I can take my seniority back and have an influence over what's going on in Washington, D.C., maybe change the direction. So I'm really worried. And that's the reason that it gives me pause and makes Jan and I think about maybe we ought to do this.
What are the ways you think you could make a difference?
Well, again, the seniority. Been there, done that. Been all over the world working on issues having to do with Homeland Security. I know people in Texas. I used to be the chairman of the Northern Border Caucus. And if you think about it, one of the problems that we have is not necessarily entirely on the southern border. The northern border, we're watching fentanyl come in, and we're seeing it come from the south as well. And so I can have an influence with my seniority on working on issues like the problems with fentanyl, especially on the reservations. You know, I worry about Wolf Point and Poplar and Fort Belknap, but I worry about Bighorn County and the Cheyenne Reservation. Billings, Montana. You look at the violence that's going on in Billings, you're starting to see the cartels move in, the gangs move in. And so, can I have an influence? I think I can.
We just had a bipartisan border bill that was shot down. And one of the reasons were that Republicans weren't willing to vote for that. What was wrong with that?
Well, I don't know why they can't separate the issue of Ukraine and Israel. There always has to be some kind of a deal when it comes to the United States Senate. And that bothers me. Why can't we just vote on one thing? Why can't we address one issue? Why can't we talk about immigration and the problems that exist within, allowing people to come in illegally, setting a numerical limit or non-limit on the number of people who are coming in. And I just happen to take a hardline position. Let's send people back, let them come in the right way, go through the process, and why just accept, what they came up with in that compromise. And I know James Langford. He's a friend, a senator. I've known him for a long time. I respect him a lot from Oklahoma. But this is not a good thing for America. I just think it's the wrong thing, and I would have voted against it.
Yeah, obviously been a problem for a lot of years. I mean, not just something that happened overnight.
Yeah. Well, I go all the way back to Al Simpson, back in the day when he was in the United States Senate, and they came up with this solution that was going to solve everything having to do with immigration, and it didn't. So the bottom line is, why do we have a president that undoes everything that the prior president, President Trump, did through executive orders? They're not following the law. It bothers me that they're not following the law. Just do your job. And if they would just enforce the laws that are in place right now that the president undid when he became the president, it would have solved a lot of the problems. So, they're kind of compromising against themselves. We need to get rid of the current administration. I don't know if it's President Biden. I don't know if it's people behind him or around him, but they're taking the wrong position. Just go back to the way it was prior to his taking office. And I think it doesn't necessarily take new legislation. we can solve the problems by just enforcing the laws that are in place right now.
Other than the border, what are some of the main issues that you're concerned about?
Oh, the economy. I mean, Jan and I, when I left Congress, we built, operated, owned 6 fast food restaurants. And because of COVID, we had to shut down our dining rooms. After the fact, we had to deal with the government paying people not to work. It's changed the economic and the employment environment forever. And we see it. Go to Albertsons on Rehberg and Grand, and they'll tell you, I do the grocery shopping. I'm in there all the time. I see the prices that exist in the produce and all the other things. So I know what's going on with the economy personally because I pay the bill. And if we don't do something to affect the inflation that's occurring, think about it. Since this president took office, they've increased spending $3.5 trillion. And we have a senator that's gone along with it. He's a willing partner. And so we have to realistically look at where our economy is right now and understand that inflation is killing average middle-class Americans. And that's going to be a huge issue. If I do decide to do this, I'm going to jump right in the middle of it, and I can use personal experiences of having been out of Congress in small business and having to deal with the price increases and the inflation that's occurring.
You said you don't know what Matt Rosendale is going to
Not
ultimately
a
do.
clue.
Associated Press is reporting just this afternoon that he is definitely going to jump into the Senate race, but
I've done that.
You can't confirm that yet.
No, but I've tried. I ran against Senator Tester in 2012. It's a tough race. I wish him well. It's a primary, and it's always one of those let the best man win, and we can create a team. Let's move forward, whoever it is, and I wish him well, but I haven't got a clue.
Yeah. Would that be the only circumstances that you would jump into the congressional race, is if he decides to go for Senate?
I have no idea. I didn't know until Friday night that I was even being honored by the opportunity. I'm humbled by the support I've received. I'm just listening and learning. I have no idea.
No, what I meant though was, if he
yeah.
decides not to run for Senate,
No,
would you still consider challenging him for
No,
his-
well, see, that's my answer.
Okay.
I don't know because I don't know whether he's running or not. I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. The whole point was that up until Friday, I didn't even know I was being considered for anything. So I don't know.
What do you think of the job Rosendale has done in that position?
Interesting. Every congressman has to follow their own course. I happen to pick something that may be boring to people, but I'm a numbers guy. And so while I was on resources and transportation and agriculture committee, I asked to be on appropriations for the very reason that I like to try and balance budgets. I like to see that we don't spend more than is absolutely necessary. I couldn't tell you what Matt's committees are. I suspect he's probably on resources and agriculture. I hadn't really been paying attention to that, so I just don't have an opinion one way or another.
So anything that you could say that you might approach differently than he has? Or?
Well, if he's not on appropriations, I'd certainly approach it differently from the aspect that, I'm a numbers guy. And it's kind of boring. People say, well, you haven't passed a lot of legislation. Well, no, that's not the job of an appropriator. I was a chairman of Labor, Health and Human Services, and Education. So my budget was $845 billion a year. I had to pay attention to Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, Obamacare. That's not what he was involved in. So, we just approach our job differently. But Montanans will remember that I promised to visit all 56 counties every year when I became lieutenant governor in 1991. And I fulfilled that promise right up until 2013. I went to all 56 counties. Don't get to do that anymore. I'll miss going to Libby and Hamilton and Anaconda and Butte. But I really look forward, if this is a possibility, of visiting Helena, Great Falls, Billings, and Baker, Scobie, Glasgow, Malta. I'll do the same thing I've always done, and that's be Montana's representative.
It seems like in the 12 years since you were last in office, that politics have become more polarized than ever.
Yeah.
What can you do to kind of get past that, or can you do anything?
Well, one of the things that kind of bothers me, and it became evident under Nancy Pelosi, is there was a division between the Republicans and the Democrats. And I worked a lot with Democrats. Henry Bonilla, I can go ahead and mention names, Dennis Cardoza. They don't mean anything to anyone. Jim Costa. I worked with people on issues having to do with water. Surprisingly, one of the issues I worked on was drought. I was the drought advisory chairman when I was lieutenant governor. And there was an African American congressman by the name of Alcee Hastings. He's since passed away. He represented Miami. And he and I would team up on drought legislation. Why Montana and why Miami? Well, you look for ways to work with people that may not have the same background or the same kind of district that you do, but you try and work with them. And I think that Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer and some of the Democrats have created a division between the Republicans and Democrats on things that we can actually work on. And so I look forward, if I end up doing this, of rekindling some of the relationships. Henry Cuellar from southern Texas is a friend. He's on appropriations. He and I have a lot of interests in common. I would work with Henry on immigration. So you just build coalitions, you build relationships, you can overcome the divisiveness that's occurring currently in Congress. And I can get along with anyone. I even like KTVQ. Go figure.
Oh, good to hear that.
Yeah.
Curious about your thoughts about President Trump.
He's very popular in Montana. And what I can tell you is that I worked very closely with people that he appointed in various positions. I'll use an example, Department of Interior, David Bernhardt. I worked with David on water issues in San Joaquin. That's where a lot of our produce comes from. Rather than bringing it in from Mexico, lettuce and radishes and everything but Brussels sprouts. They refuse to grow Brussels sprouts in the San Joaquin just because they hate Brussels sprouts. And there's not enough cheese to make it taste good. But I worked with David Bernhardt, and I can tell you that Donald Trump appointed a guy, Secretary of Interior, that really did a lot of good things. Homeland Security, I can go down the list. So while we may not necessarily like his personality, he hires good people, and he gets rid of people that either disagree with him or he doesn't think is doing a good job. But personally, I can tell you, the people I worked with in the Trump administration were top notch.
He can be a very divisive figure, though, in a lot of ways. Even now, I think today he sent out a press release calling his opponent Nikki Haley names and those kind of things. Are you concerned at all that, you very seldom see him ever trying to unite the country? It's always trying to divide.
Well, he's trying to take a leadership position. And you want a president that can't walk up the stairs of Air Force One, can't walk off the stage without shaking hands with nobody that's there. Or do you want somebody that can hold their own and is opinionated? You know exactly where he stands. I just worry that we have a president right now that we don't know where he stands because there are a lot of people behind him that are guiding him. And frankly, I think they're heading us off in the wrong direction. So I would rather have a Donald Trump who I can hear what he stands for. I know what he wants to try and accomplish. And yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say things the same way he does, but I think he'd be a better president than the one we have right now. And it doesn't take me. I mean, look at America. Look at Montana. Ask Montanans. I don't have to convince Montanans that we're headed in the wrong direction and we have a president that's really out of touch with Montana. I don't have to explain that. This is the easiest job, or would be the easiest job ever, and that is, look, Joe Biden is not doing a good job for Montanans. We can do better. Whether it's Donald Trump or not, probably. But is Joe Biden going to be the nominee? I don't know. I'm not a good prognosticator when it comes to politics.
Obviously, being in Congress is a pretty demanding job. Are you up for it if you decide to run?
Oh, absolutely. I'm happy to go back to Washington and fight the good fight. Look forward to representing Montana. And, the people from Wyoming can say they come from the greatest state. The people from South Dakota can say the same thing. I don't think the people from New Jersey, I wouldn't say necessarily they're always proud of everything that happens in New York City or Newark. But I can tell you that Montanans get it. They understand it. And I thoroughly enjoyed representing the people of Montana in Congress. So do I have the vigor and enthusiasm? Absolutely. Drink a lot of coffee. Don't sleep a lot. I get my 5 or 6 hours a night. But yeah, I could do this.
Guys, any other questions that you have?
I think so.
Okay. Anything that I didn't ask you about that
I
you
don't
feel
think so.
like is important to
No,
mention?
no. You didn't talk about leafy spurge or spotted knapweed or woolly mullen. Hey, up until Friday, I was thinking about that.
But again, as far as a timetable, possibly when you might make this decision, you're thinking you're heading to the golf tournament.
Yeah, I am. Well, no, the golf tournament is extra. I'm going down to watch the Kansas City Chiefs once again be the world champions, I hope. But, I spent a lot of years supporting the Chiefs, and they didn't win. But there are certain deadlines, and that's what's good about the American political system. There's going to be in Montana a primary, first Tuesday in June. That's going to happen. The first Tuesday in November, that's going to happen. Things change. We now have early voting. We have absentee ballots. We have things that you have to understand the new technology of campaigning. But as far as the decision, it doesn't take me long to decide what to do when I'm listening and learning from people. But a deadline is March 11th. You have to decide by March 11th whether you want your name on the ballot or not. And if you don't decide by then, you're not on the ballot. If you do decide and then you don't run, you're on the ballot, but it doesn't matter. So March 11th is kind of a deadline.